That intro is soon to be changed. We had this discussion as the intro was playing. Welcome to the Equinox, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Siriani, Carl Maglowski with you. Ming Chen, pushing the buttons. How you doing, Ming?
I'm good. No mic. I'm good.
You
That's good.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to go into today. Even though the NFL season is over and the combine is over, we still have a lot of NFL news to get into, and we're going to start off with a couple of trades that's happened. Let's get started with the first one that happened earlier this week or last week. Deebo Samuel has been traded to the Washington Commanders for a 5th-round pick. This is something that was kind of caught me by surprise, especially because the value. Like, Deebo's worth way more than a 5th-round pick. I think the 49ers kind of got hosed here, in my opinion.
I don't think so. They just want to get rid of him. I was watching TV earlier. They're willing to open the trade Ayuk. They just want to get older.
They want to get younger.
Not older. They want to get younger in certain key positions. They're going to keep the core 4, but the other guys, they're going to if they can get good value, they're going to trade them.
Yeah.
Bad year, you know what I'm saying, with the Niners.
It was a bad year last year.
So now we're bringing back Salah as defense coordinator.
Yeah.
Then they're going to try to make another push, trying to win the NFC West next year coming up.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. Eagles, we signed Zach Bond.
That's correct.
So 3 years, $51 million. So that's good.
$17 million a year. Is he worth that much money?
Hey, he was a productive year in his defense, so they re-upped him for 3 more years. They also extended Saquon Barkley.
Yes, and he becomes the highest paid running back in NFL history.
For another 2-year extension.
That's crazy.
We also had Max Crosby sign another deal with the Raiders. That was odd.
First off, that was the craziest deal I've ever seen. Because you're paying $35.5 million a year to a pass rusher who wants out on a terrible team. So it's like, okay, I want out. No, we're not going to get out. I'm just going to go and sign an extension, get $35 million a year for the next 3 years. It's weird to me.
It is, but let's get Ming's opinion. I think he's going to say it's the Raiders, but let Ming say it for himself.
Ming, whenever you can. Take your time.
Sorry. Keep talking.
It's okay. Yeah, no, like $35.5 million a year for a pass rusher, and the Raiders have no foundation. They got nothing. So it's just kind of odd to me that they go this route and sign arguably the best player, but like, you tell me.
They're playing with Vegas money now. It's like, where are they going to play him in poker chips? Like, come on. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because, like I said, the Raiders have nothing going for them. Max Crosby, if he left the Raiders, he would have been a high-profile free agent in many places.
Right, and then they're also saying this earlier during the week that the Giants may be trying to nudge for Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Kirk Cousins.
Oh, the Raiders.
Kirk Cousins to the Giants.
Don't even tell me that. You're killing me. The thought of Aaron Rodgers coming to the Giants just actually kills me. You want to know why? Because he's not at a high level guy anymore. We had what's his face on the show last time producing, and he said, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers had a mediocre year, but for most quarterbacks, that's a good year. For him, it's a bad year." So it's just very weird to me to see Aaron Rodgers still staying with the Tides in New York, except with a different team, and we have someone coming in.
I'm thinking if he does sign somewhere, it's probably the Raiders.
Who, Rodgers? Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense because I can't see Aaron Rodgers wanting to stay in New York with another team. It just doesn't sound right. Plus, the Giants don't have anyone except Malik Neighbors that he could really trust. So, if the Giants are going to go with a quarterback, I wouldn't trust Aaron Rodgers. I'd probably go to the draft board. And speaking of the draft board, I think the first 7 picks were kind of projected in many people's minds.
Now, before we talk about the draft,
go ahead.
You want to go for try and make a run for Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold, I can't imagine that because he already flopped with the Jets. I mean, he's coming off a great year, like a career year.
Now, do you think he'll stay with the Vikings?
I mean, I've heard the Vikings love him, but they didn't use the franchise tag on him. The franchise tag deadline passed, and they didn't use it on Sam Darnold. I think only 2 teams used the tag, and that was one being the Bengals, who used it on T. Higgins, which is deserved. Right. And then I forget who else used the tag, but it was only 2 teams used it. So 30 other teams did not tag somebody. And it was just kind of strange to me.
But who's the other teams that need a quarterback? You got the Raiders.
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Pittsburgh, but well, they're going to bring one of Justin Fields or Russell Wilson back, so it really depends.
Most likely, they're going to probably do Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Seattle has Geno, but he's in the last year of the contract.
Oh, Seattle's in a little bit of a pickle right now.
Maybe the Colts, because Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy.
I heard that, and I was very, very shocked because Anthony Richardson, towards the end of the season, played okay. I mean, he definitely rebounded from saying, hey, I need a break. So he rebounded from that, but I don't know if the Colts should really test him already.
See, I don't think he's the future because he didn't play that well in only 13 games in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I know the sample size is small, like with pros and in college. Like the sample size is small, but like you don't want to rush a rookie quarterback's development and put pressure on him and bring someone else in.
Well,
So
this is like year 2.
kind of.
So if you got to bring someone in to compete with the guy.
Yeah.
So Cleveland is another position
Cleveland's a disaster.
because they restructured his contract again.
Yeah, they restructured Deshaun Watson's contract, and I don't blame them one bit. The Rams are not going to need a quarterback. They restructured Matthew Stafford's contract, so he will be back for at least 2025. After rumblings of him seeking a trade, they ended that rumor quickly.
Yeah, but all they have is Puka and Higbee. They're not going to be. They're going to let
Cooper Kupp walk.
They're letting
which I
Kupp
think-
go.
Yeah, that was very, very strange. The fact that I heard that Myles Garrett wants to seek a trade. We talked about that last show.
Yes.
And honestly, if you pair him with a dominant pass rusher, so here's my thing. I want to get into the draft a little bit.
Go ahead.
So the number one pick in the draft, according to many experts, is Penn State sensation Abdul Carter, who didn't participate in the combine because of a foot fracture, which doesn't need surgery. So apparently, according to Penn State, he'll be ready for his pro day.
Okay.
And I've seen footage of Abdul Carter. He's a good pass rusher.
He is.
But does Tennessee want to pass on a quarterback just to take a pass rusher? I mean, they have Jeffrey Simmons, so I guess like their thought process is let's strengthen a strength that we got and not focus on our weakness. That's what's kind of weird to me.
I think Tennessee's going to go Cam Ward.
They should go. I think they should go quarterback. I think they'd be crazy if they'd pass on a QB. I think Abdul Carter is a great player, and I think no matter where he goes, he's going to be great. But the problem with Tennessee taking Abdul Carter is if you're sticking with Will Levis for another year, which I think they already said they're not committing to him, why would you even bother?
No.
So that's why I think quarterback's necessary. And to me, Tennessee has a lot more offensive problems than they do defensive problems. Their defense was not the problem last year.
Right.
It was Will Levis and their quarterback's not being able to stay healthy.
Now, is Mason Rudolph still on the contract to be their backup? Or he's off the shelf? He's off the market too?
He's off the shelf.
He's off the shelf?
He's off the shelf, and I honestly don't think he's coming back.
Okay.
So that's the problem with Tennessee. And then number 2, Cleveland, they're taking a QB because I think Deshaun Watson needs to be tested. I think you need to put competition on him. And I think Cam Ward would be good. I would think you're crazy if you take Shedeur Sanders if you're Cleveland.
I want it.
You're not. You don't think so?
I want to take Shedeur Sanders.
I agree.
I don't think he's that good.
And then number 3 are the Giants. If Shedeur Sanders comes here, God help me.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants try to get up to either 1 or 2.
You think they're going to trade up?
They have to. Now, here's the thing. If they pick a rookie quarterback, this may get maybe Joe Shane and Daboll maybe 2 more years. But if they don't and they crap out, I think after this year coming up, they're done.
I think no matter what happens, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are on the hot seat because the thing with Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, look at what happened in Chicago when the Bears drafted Justin Fields. Matt Nagy and the general manager who was there at the time, like they were given one chance to develop a rookie QB because Mitchell Trubisky didn't work out, and then they got fired. So, I mean, look, you didn't inherit Daniel Jones. That was why they survived. But now, like, you got to develop a rookie quarterback because the Giants have not had any good quarterback play since Eli Manning retired. And I think if you're the Giants, I think the number 1 quarterback that I would take, I know this quarterback class is not good at all. I like Jackson Dart of Ole Miss.
Jackson Dart, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think he'll fade. I
You
think
think he'll fizzle out?
no, he's not going to fizzle out. He'll be like he won't be a top 3. I think he'll be lower in the draft in the first round.
Maybe 7. The Jets.
Maybe I'll not. I think maybe I don't know.
Second round.
No, I say like 10 and below.
Because right now the top 7 is in order: the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Jets. That's your top 7. I realistically can see 2 quarterbacks going in that top 7.
It's going to be Ward and Sanders.
Ward and Sanders. And then, like I said, whoever takes Shador Sanders, I think you're making a big mistake. But I want to get back to Seattle for a second because you mentioned Seattle for a second. Tyler Lockett was released by the Seahawks, and now DK Metcalf has
wants a trade.
Yes, he wants a trade. This kind of comes as a shocker because DK Metcalf has been very loyal to Seattle the last 7 years. But now Seattle looks like they're in for a little bit of a rebuild.
Yes.
They don't really have it right with the quarterback position. I know Geno Smith still has, I think, 1 or 2 years left on his contract, but so far, ever since he got the extension, he hasn't been.
That's the place. That's the place I was thinking about. That they were saying that he may go to Seattle. Jackson Dart.
Possible. I can see it. I can see it because Seattle needs a reset. If Geno Smith is not your long-term answer, which he's not a long-term answer,
no,
he's been long past due. So I think Jackson Dart in Seattle would be workout.
Yeah,
like a late first-round pick.
Yeah, I think they're not part of the playoff team, so I think they're maybe like 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, so you're bottom half of the first round.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. Not a bad spot. Like, that's where I would put a highly talented quarterback for this class. Last year's class was ridiculously talented, and you could tell. There was we also had Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals also was granted permission to seek a trade.
Correct, yes.
That's a shocker, and I don't think if you're Cincinnati, you want to lose him. I don't think you want to lose him if you're Cincy.
They have no trouble. They had the franchised T. Higgins
they
again.
Franchised T. Higgins, and they're going to pay Jamar Chase eventually. And usually there's that deadline where franchise tag players seek long-term deals.
Right.
So if you're T. Higgins, you're thinking a long-term contract is coming soon. But the Bengals defense was pitiful last year.
Right.
Like, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase put up these gaudy stats, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed defense.
Correct. So I would be surprised if they maybe trade T. Higgins before the draft and get more draft picks coming up. Because they already have Chase Brown. They got their tight ends. So they're not that bad. The defense is horrible.
Yeah.
So, and then Sim Hubbard retired.
Yeah, I know. So the Bengals defense is really in worse form right now. They cannot afford a defensive loss.
No.
And then also Christian Kirk was traded to the Texans, which is also a surprise because he got that big contract from the Jaguars, but yet they got rid of him.
They're a mess. Jacksonville
is a mess, and I can honestly see why the Texans wanted this because Tank Dell had that massively scary injury in Kansas City, and Stephon Diggs is probably not going to come back this year or next season. So you're thinking that they need someone to complement Nico Collins.
Yep, that works.
There's your guy.
That works.
But like, I know people sleep on John Mechie and Robert Woods, but they're not exactly number 2 caliber. So you need it. So I think Christian Kirk's number 2 caliber.
They need to. They underachieved this past season. Houston. If everyone's healthy, they should be upper tier in the AFC.
Yeah, I like the Texans a lot.
So hopefully they can rebound and be instead of a 4 seed, they could probably be like a 3 or a 2. But we'll see.
Yeah. It really depends. I mean, the NFL draft is only early May? A couple months away.
No, it's last week. Last week in April. Last Thursday in April.
That's crazy. So
another month.
So basically, you got WrestleMania and then the draft. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like the last. I think it's in Vegas. No, Vegas.
And no, it's in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, it's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That should be interesting, though. You have the most legendary football city in the world, and they're hosting the NFL draft, probably in Lambeau Field.
Could be.
If not Pfizer V, where the Milwaukee Bucks
it might be outdoors somewhere. It's going to be.
If they do the draft outdoors, they're crazy.
Most likely, it'll be outdoors.
If they do outdoors in Green Bay, Wisconsin, they're nuts. But I do want to get into the NBA because we do have a couple of major developments in Dallas. So last time we did the show, we talked about the Luka Doncic trade, how massively crazy that was, and they got Anthony Davis for Luka. Well, Anthony Davis has played one game for the Dallas Mavericks. Why? Because he hurt himself. And how long is he out for? A month. Anthony Davis is out for a month. Go figure. So Anthony Davis is out for a month, and then things get even worse because Kyrie Irving tore his ACL and is done for the year.
Yep. Yes, he is.
If you're the Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison, what the hell are you thinking right now? They screwed themselves. Like, this is
basically no play-in. You're just crapped out.
Basically,
you're not gonna make the play-in.
In the words of my dad, they screwed themselves.
So what are they now in the standings for?
They're still 10th by 3.5 games.
Over who?
Over Phoenix, and then Portland, and then San Antonio, and then
San Antonio isn't making because Wembanyama. They're shutting him down because of the blood clot. He's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and
so
also,
do you see Phoenix? Do you see the Suns catching them?
Believe it or not, I have another team in mind. I like the Portland Trailblazers.
Blazers?
I think the Blazers can make a run if they string together a couple of wins. I mean, 3.5 games, especially with a reeling Dallas Mavericks team, I think Portland can catch up. Plus, Kevin Durant's not happy in Phoenix, so I think it's just only a matter of time. Yeah, I know.
Don't get me started on him.
Kevin Durant's not happy in Phoenix. Where else is he happy? Where is he happy?
He was happy when he won in Golden State.
Yeah, and then he decided, hey, Steph, I can win on my own. Newsflash, he hasn't won on his own.
And he left Brooklyn because he couldn't.
He left Brooklyn. If his toe wasn't on the line against Milwaukee in that playoff game,
I don't know. Yeah.
This would be a whole different conversation. That's what's massively crazy to me. Kevin Durant has all the potential to be the greatest basketball player in the world.
Do you imagine if he stayed in Oklahoma City? If he never wanted to team up with the Warriors and he stayed?
What? And also, what if Russell Westbrook and James Harden, it's a trickle-down effect. Once Kevin Durant left, Russell Westbrook and James Harden also left. So
I thought the Beard left first.
Actually, I think you're right. Yeah,
he went to Houston first.
He did, you're right. And then Kevin Durant left second, and then Russell Westbrook tried to toughen it out in Oklahoma City by himself. And
if he didn't want to join the Warriors and he stayed, right? Yeah. And then Westbrook stayed, but now they have that younger talent. Who knows?
Can you imagine? Well, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has 4 50-point games this season. He's probably on track to win MVP this year. Just imagine you have Kevin Durant, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on the same team.
It could have been.
You would have had the young stud of today versus the young stud of yesteryear, which would have been nuts. But it's kind of nuts. We got Munchkins over here, courtesy of DAS Technology Consulting.
Yep.
Thank you, DAS, a.k.a. Darren Siriani.
Welcome.
Speaking of NBA, listen to this. Sure. I don't know if you saw. I'm not a big Munchkin guy. So, did you hear that on top of the Dallas Mavericks losing players to injury, they raised their ticket prices?
Man.
They raised their ticket prices by 35%. Why? Ask Mark Cuban. I have no idea.
Now, is he still majority owner?
He's not majority owner. He has the second highest stock in the Mavericks franchise.
Okay.
But still, he has say in what the Mavericks do. Why would you raise ticket prices if, one, you get rid of your star player, and two, your other contributing players get hurt? It just makes no sense to me.
Maybe because since he's on Shark Tank, so I guess they could extra money that the team can make now because they're in trouble.
It does sound like Shark Tank. All right, so you're going to come to Maverick games for $50 a piece. I'm going to make it $75 a piece. Oh, be careful with that camera. All right. The Mavs, in a statement, said the reason for the price hike in the season was made to better reflect seat value, especially in high-demand areas closest to the court.
That's bogus.
It's bogus. It's right. It's bogus. And why would you want to? Why would you want to do that with your seats if your team is reeling?
Yes.
I don't understand any of the logic behind that. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry, Dallas franchise. Everything you've done the last 2 months makes no sense.
No.
And the thing is, they're not getting any better. If they don't draft well this upcoming season, they're done. They're history.
Well, Kyrie's
done it. Well, it's Klay Thompson's team now.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to with Klay. They'll still make the play-in. I don't think they're going to get Klay.
I don't think they're making the play-in.
I think they'll.
I'm willing to put a punishment on this one.
What's this one going to be?
All right, so now this is what's going to happen. So anytime I put a punishment down on this, it means if I'm wrong, I have to suffer punishment and spin the punishment wheel. So if you remember the last time we did this, and Ming knows this because he spun the wheel, wheelofnames.com will decide the punishment. And there's a bunch of punishments. There's, it's the karaoke punishment. That's what it was. The karaoke punishment, where we had you sing 1985 on
Yes.
episode.
All right, now, who owns a tiebreaker between the Warriors and not the Warriors, the Mavericks and the Trailblazers?
I'm pretty sure it's Dallas because those games were earlier in the season.
So
they'd have to have a better record.
So technically, then they're up by 4. They're 4 games up.
That's technically correct, yeah.
All right.
Now, I think Portland can take the wild card spot. Like, literally, you can quote me on this. I think that the Portland Trailblazers will get the last playing spot.
Why don't we have Ming look up the schedule right now and see Portland?
Let's look at Portland's schedule. Yeah, let's do that. I think they can do it. We got our amazing producer Ming Chen pushing the buttons and also giving us the information we need. All right, so actually they play the Thunder tonight. Oh, yeah.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, the Thunder, the Pistons. Oh God,
You heard it. You heard it.
The Knicks, the Raptors, the Wizards. Oh my God, what kind of schedule is this?
You open your mouth. You sure you want karaoke or you want to do food?
I'm pretty sure I want to do karaoke.
You want karaoke?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, no. I'd rather take the food punishment if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Now, one thing I would rather do, and this is something I do on Sports Symposium, which is another show that I do. If you put Tabasco on a burrito, I'll eat it. Like a whole bottle. Like, I'll do that. But, like, I'm not doing a KC large bucket on air. That's something I'm not doing.
No, that's disgusting.
That would be horrid. So, yes, if I'm wrong and the Portland Trailblazers don't make the play-in tournament, I'll eat something ridiculous. Like, it could be like a Tabasco burrito. It could be a hot pepper. I don't want... hotter than the Carolina Reaper. I forget what it is, but they're doing challenges on the internet about it.
Now, here's the thing. Are you going to buy it or you want Ming to buy it? You want me to buy it?
You buy it. Kind of like how you gave me the Eagles jersey after the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Just called Pepper X.
Pepper X?
Pepper X.
All right, but how about this? If you lose, you have to eat a Big Mac on air.
A Big Mac?
Big Mac.
From McDonald's?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an easy one.
Big Mac.
It is kind of an easy one. I can eat a Big Mac in my sleep.
Well, it's...
Make me something bad.
I don't want...
I can handle something bad. I can tolerate.
What do you hate the most?
What do I hate the most? I hate artichokes.
Artichokes.
I hate artichokes more than anything.
How about this? You like liverwurst?
Liverwurst? I never had a liverwurst in my life.
All right, you're gonna have a liverwurst sandwich.
Liverwurst. Okay.
All right, so you're gonna have a liverwurst sandwich with spicy mustard and liverwurst sandwich with spicy mustard.
Okay. Deal.
Okay.
Raw and watch. The Portland Trailblazers will make
with raw onion. I'm gonna make it with. I'm gonna put raw onion on it too.
Raw onion. Oh boy. Okay. I'm asking for a big one here. I think I'll be okay.
And if I lose, I'll do your burrito with Tabasco sauce.
Deal.
But don't overkill it with the Tabasco.
We're not going to put a whole bottle of Tabasco on a burrito.
No.
We're not going to do that for you. All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of NHL because we do have a couple of things to discuss. So if you've been following the NHL this season, Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals is only 10 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time record for most goals scored in a career.
It's actually lower. He scores more goals. I think he's down to 8, I think.
What do you mean? It's 10. I think it's 10.
He scored more goals.
No, it's 8. It's 885. Wayne Gretzky's at 894. So you'd only need 10 to pass. Unless they played a game tonight and I didn't know and he scored 2 goals. I think it's 885. But I want to preview the Capitals' upcoming schedule.
10 goals away.
10 goals away. Thank you. Thank you, research team. So this is the Capitals' upcoming schedule. Well, the remaining schedule. They have 20 games left.
He'll make it.
And he needs 10 goals.
If
you do the math, he'd have to score a goal every other game.
He'll do it.
Pretty much.
He'll do it.
So the Capitals' upcoming schedule is this. Tomorrow they play at home against the Detroit Pistons. Then they stay at home on the 9th. They play Seattle. Then on the 11th, they travel to Anaheim to play the Ducks, who are awful.
They're playing the Red Wings, man, not the Pistons.
The Pistons, yeah, the Pistons are.
The Red Wings. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. My bad. The Piston. Oh God. The Red Wings. Then the Kraken. Then the Ducks. Then at Los Angeles, they play the Kings. Then they stay in LA. They have a 3-game West Coast trip. At San Jose, they play the Sharks, who are putrid. They're a bad organization. Then they play at home against Detroit again. Then they got the Flyers on March 20th. March 22nd, they got the Florida Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champions. The Winnipeg Jets, who are the best team in the NHL. That should be fun. At Minnesota against the Wild, who's actually pretty good this year. Then Buffalo, then Boston, then Carolina, then Chicago. The Islanders, the Hurricanes, then the Columbus Blue Jackets back-to-back.
Right.
And then the Islanders, and then the Pittsburgh Penguins to end the regular season. Now, keep in mind, whatever Alex Ovechkin does in the postseason doesn't matter. He has to get these 10 goals in the regular season to pass Wayne Gretzky. Now, this is actually kind of amazing because you look at Wayne Gretzky and all the records he holds, you wouldn't think that any of his records would be broken. But Wayne Gretzky wants him to do it. Gretzky wants his own record to be broken.
I think he will. I think he's going to do it this season. I think it's not going to go into next year. I think he'll do it.
I think he could do it too. Like I said, every 2 games you score 1 goal. I mean, that's good. Like, I remember he started off so strong. Then he injured his leg and he was out for 4 to 6 weeks. Then he came back and then he took a while to get going and now he's going again.
Yep.
So that's amazing. And then Jack Hughes is out for the season for the Devils. The Devils are in 3rd place in the Metro Division. Killer for the Devils. I know that, a couple friends of mine, they're Devil fans. They don't want to see this happen. But I got to tell you, I think if you're looking at the NHL right now, I think the Winnipeg Jets are the best team in the league. Winnipeg is good.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know, man. It's when U.S. lost to Canada in overtime for
that was crushing.
Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
He's supposedly saying he's the best goalie. I don't know. Right now, I think it's them and the Capitals. So,
So first off, I got a stat. So Wayne Gretzky has 894 goals. So 894 goals over 1,487 games. All right. So now you're putting my math to the test here. So 1,487 divided by 894. So that's 1 remainder 593. So 593 divided by 894. If I'm doing the math in my head, I want to take forever here, but it's basically around like 1 3/4 goals a game. That's actually insane if you think about it.
So how old was Gretzky when he retired?
I know.
Was he 38 when he retired? 38?
He was 39.
39?
He was 39.
How old's Ovechkin now?
I'm wrong about the game. 894 divided by 1,487.
I think Ovechkin's 40, I think.
187?
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
894 divided by 1,487. It's not.
Oh, Ovechkin's 39.
Ovechkin's 39.
He'll be 40 in September.
Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. So 894 divided by 1487. So if you're looking at that, if the new math is correct, that's wait, hold on.
Man, can you look up
14.87?
see how old was Gretzky when he retired?
Don't stress out over it. We'll figure it out for you.
No. I got it. 0.6 goals a game. 1487 divided by 894 divided by 0.14.
So basically, he was
goals a game.
So he was a year younger.
Gretzky was a year younger when Gretzky had his 894th goal.
Like every other game, he would score goals, like the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. The pace is similar.
Yeah.
So, but I think Ovechkin has played longer. But can you imagine scoring 0.6 goals a game? That's actually kind of amazing. That's what Wayne Gretzky did, by the way. 0.6 goals a game, which we can't score a 6/10 of a goal every game.
But that's not bad though. Just a year longer he played than Gretzky to get the
get the record. But
that's not bad.
I mean, Wayne Gretzky wants him to break the record.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't see a problem with it. I mean, they say records are meant to be broken, and if you're Wayne Gretzky and you own almost every record in the NHL book, why not? And this is actually a record has been at the top of the hockey world for a long time. People want this record broken.
All right, so if I know we're going to do the bracket when it comes playoff hockey time, but as of now, do you think the best going in the Eastern Conference Finals will be Florida and the Capitals?
I think that's the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, I think to me, Florida is very consistent. And then the Washington Capitals just have a full team. Like they have a lot of guys who can score at will.
Because last year they weren't that good. They just limped into the playoffs.
They did. And then when the Capitals ran into a buzzsaw on the Rangers, they lost in 4.
Yeah.
So I think, and the Panthers are just like battle tested. Well, you got to remember the year before last year, the Panthers made it to the Stanley Cup Finals as a wild card team.
Yeah.
Which was kind of amazing. But this team, like the Florida Panthers are really stacked. The Washington Capitals have a lot of depth. The Western Conference, to me, if it's not Winnipeg, I don't know who else it would be.
Vegas, maybe?
The Golden Knights, I guess, are good. The Dallas Stars, they choke a lot. That's why I'm not too sure about the Dallas Stars.
Avalanche, maybe?
The Avalanche are always up there. I mean, they're a wild card position, but still, they're respectable. All right, so I can't wait for basketball season. We can spend a half hour on the show talking about NCAA basketball because the March Madness basketball tournament is only a couple weeks away, 12 days from the bracket being announced. Now, if you go on ESPN.com, you will not find Joe Lunardi's updated bracket. You have to go to Joe Lunardi's Twitter account to find the updated bracket. So that is something that I feel like needs to be said. Ming is plugging away at everything. So if you go on Lunardi's Twitter account, you'll find it. He didn't put it on ESPN today. It'll probably be on tomorrow.
Okay.
But basically, I analyzed the bracket. The last 4 teams in the field, according to Joe Lunardi, are as follows. San Diego State of the Mountain West, Indiana of the Big Ten, Boise State of the Mountain West, and then Xavier is the last team in.
Yep, of the Big East.
Of the Big East.
Yes.
They're trying. And then the first 4 out are Oklahoma, North Carolina, Texas, and Nebraska.
Well, Oklahoma plays Texas on Saturday.
Yeah, that
so
game,
one of them's going to be off. One's going to drop.
whoever loses that game is out of tournament
Correct.
consideration.
Yes.
And the SEC has 12 teams comfortably in.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Like that's nearly 20% of the field is confirmed.
Okay, so well, I want to. I heard, saw some things before I left the house to head over to the studio tonight. I want to bring up to you because it's breaking news for baseball.
Go ahead.
It's about your team.
I know.
Yeah, and so I wanted. Yeah, so he's out for 3 months.
Who, Stanton?
No, Luis Gill.
Oh, come on.
So I want to let Ming bring it up, and then you could chime off. You could chime off and see. Are you going to be in panic mode?
3 months.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it comes even worse. So now DJ the Mayu has a grade 1 or 2 left calf strain, and he'll be signing for several weeks.
Oh my God.
So now it's all
falling apart.
not really. It's still spring training, but now Gill's out for 3 months, so he's out. He'll be maybe end of June or early July. He'll start throwing.
Let's go Mets.
I'm not rooting for the Mets. I know just because you're in cahoots with Juan Soto and he's your buddy, I'm not rooting for the Mets. Never. I would never, ever, ever do that. But DS Technology Consulting's Darren Siriani is in the background. Just
Big D.
But
Big D.
it's good that you got.
I can't.
No, it's good that. I'm tired.
I will never,
I'm tired.
Ever cheer for the Mets. I'm just saying that on this show. I will never, ever, 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 ever cheer for the Mets. And if I do that, then I deserve another punishment, which I will never do.
Well, it's good that you guys got Max Fried.
I mean, yeah, well, Max Fried's good.
So now you got Cole, Max Fried, and then
Max Fried.
Stroman. The Stroman bread.
Stroman's going to have to get a grip. Now, if Gill's out for 3 months, Stroman's going to have to start now. And remember, we had talks about trading him earlier in the year. For spring
And then so right now you have Cole, Fried, Rodon, then Stroman. Stroman bread.
Yeah, I would say that.
Who's your 5th? Not Nestor. Nestor's
No, Nestor's gone.
Nestor's gone, right?
Nestor's gone. I gotta look at their rotation. I
think Ming's pulling it up.
yeah, Ming's pulling it up right now. Ming's pulling the pitch depth. Yeah, I gotta see this. 2025. Let's take a look at this. Cole Weaver, Devin Williams. It's across. Clark Schmidt's
D-Day. What's D-Day?
DD. Hold on, scroll down. I might be able to know. DD.
Day to day.
Day to day.
He's hurt.
This is horrible. Oh
Well, I got good news. Bryce Harper's willing to go back to the outfield, so the Phillies can get a better first baseman. So that's good, and whatever that's going to be.
Good for you. Good for you. Oh, by the way, Devin Williams was interviewed earlier today about the beard rule being gone, and he said, "Oh well, I was honored that Mr. Steinbrenner made the decision." I'm like, dude, the reason why the beard rule is gone is because of you. And he's basically, oh, I'm glad they made the decision. So they were making fun of like Garrett Cole having a beard and Judge having a beard and all that. I'm like, ah.
Well, if Senior was still here, nope.
If George Steinbrenner was alive,
clean shaved.
It'd be clean shave all day long, and that's how it should be. I don't know how Steinbrenner's getting the thought process to do these things.
Well, I call Brandon Marsh. I call him Sasquatch because now he does it. He does it because of his dad.
Yeah,
with what he has in his hair.
Yeah,
but do you imagine having?
Imagine having this on the Yankees. This is disgusting.
But he's doing that because of his dad and being sick and the cancer and all that. I understand why he does it. I can't be that, but it's good for that.
Ming's gonna torture me. What? I would never want to see this on the Yankees.
But say if it was a player that was doing something for his dad because of an illness.
Okay, fine. Then I understand that. But like, just imagine having a James Harden-esque beard on your team.
No, but he's doing it for a reason, not just.
I understand that. But like, I'm saying, like, imagine James Harden was a baseball player, and you allow that on the Yankees.
So, man, can you pull up Brandon Marsh's
the story of his beard
and long hair?
Beard and long hair. That's something that like that is one hairy dude. I don't even wait. Hold on. He says he's been growing this since high school. Sets the record straight. What, for his beard? That's amazing. That's unbelievable that this man has put so much dedication into his facial hair. I could never do that. I shave every 2 weeks.
No, I do it like once a week. No, there's the reason why he did it. It's like, I think because of his dad passed away.
Yeah, no,
like
that's great. That's great. That's
Cole
awesome.
got lit up today, 6 earned runs.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't a good day for the Yankees, but thank God it's only spring training. Yeah, it was an 8-4 drumming by the Minnesota Twins at the expense of the New York Yankees. Yeah, a tongue-in-cheek tribute to his father, who has the biggest
cancer.
Who was the biggest fan of.
That's why I
got a haircut every week before dying of cancer in 2021.
That's why I knew there was a reason why it was like because his dad was sick.
That's a beautiful tribute. All things for nothing, but like if George Steinbrenner was around, that would not happen. That guy would not be on the Yankees. And now also, it was revealed that at Yankee games, they won't play New York after every loss of the home games. They're going to play a Frank Sinatra song, but they're going to play that song, That's Life, every time they lose, which is fair. It's fair because, when you lose, that's life. That's baseball, Susan. It's pretty much how it goes.
But why? It's just New York. Why does it matter if they win or lose?
Well, ask Kyle Steinbrenner that question. This man has literally torn this franchise to shreds. And I don't understand his logic behind it. But I do got to say that baseball season is around the corner. I'm excited for it. I mean, I can't wait for it. I mean, the Yankees just fell short of a World Series. The Dodgers are looked at as the main bad guy of Major League Baseball. And
they are going to be the man.
They're the bad guy, all right. They're the bad guys. Because they signed all these people. They have like basically 10 people at the starting rotation.
They do.
Which is like insane. That's basically twice of what you can have at starting rotation.
Now I know we didn't go over it on Sunday.
Yeah.
But who do you think is going to pick up the package for next season for Sunday night? Do you see it going streaming, or do you think it's going to be on cable TV?
I think it goes on cable TV. I think MLB Network will pick it up.
MLB Network?
They've already said that they're interested in picking up Sunday Night Baseball for their network.
MLB? Okay.
MLB Network makes sense. Like ESPN on Sunday Night Baseball did not work out. It really did not work out. And it's unfortunate because I like Carl Ravitch. I thought that he was a really good announcer, and I thought that the crew that they had was good. It's just the product didn't sell.
No, because what they did was they took the Wednesday night package off, and they used to have Baseball Tonight for an hour, and then they took that off to only Sundays, and then it used to be Sundays and Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and now only Sundays, which is dumb. So I understand why they did it. I think, I think it would be better if they just keep it for Turner Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Either TNT or TBS. Give it to those guys.
TNT would be a good idea because Brian Anderson, I mentioned him a lot. I like Brian Anderson of TBS. He does a really good job. Also, TNT is good too.
Because you could do that. So you could do him and Darling Sunday night
Yeah.
at 7:00, and they could do Sundays and Tuesdays.
Correct. Yeah. So it makes sense. I understand it, but like, I don't know why ESPN just didn't work out. I mean, I guess they're going to keep the wild card games
For this year, I think it's only for this year only.
Only for the wow, that's a.
Next year, they're looking. Next year, they got to get somebody for that too.
I'm hoping to God though that they don't put playoff games on streaming services because that would really suck.
What, for the wild card?
For wild card, yeah. Because we've gotten to the point now where NFL playoff games are on Amazon Prime, and you can only get them on Amazon Prime or Prime Video. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I pretty soon cable TV is not going to have anything worthwhile, which is unfortunate because I hate the fact that cable TV doesn't have Monday Night Raw. I hate the fact that cable TV doesn't have all these NFL games. But
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they went to Netflix. Maybe they could do more. They could say better than on cable TV.
yeah,
I don't know why, but
I'm not a big believer in streaming services. I'm not.
No.
And actually, fun fact: Happy Gilmore 2 will be on a streaming service. It'll be on Netflix coming in July.
So it's not even going to be in a movie theater. It's going to be on.
Nope, it's not going to be in a movie theater.
Oh my god, man!
Annoying, so annoying. And my father loves Happy Gilmore, so this is gonna really anger.
So it's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
Well, you're SOL.
I guess I am.
You're SOL. So thank God I have Netflix. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to watch it. I love Happy Gilmore, so it's like crushing to hear that news. But back to March Madness for a second. We do have a lot of games. So March 8th, which is in 2 days, this Saturday, there will be a bunch of really important games out of the SEC, a couple games in the NEC semifinals, and the American East tournament will also start, but also a couple games that are outside of the SEC that are also important. But we also have picks that we're going to make based on the spread tonight, because who doesn't love spread picks? I know people love to bet college sports. Even if you're bad at it, you still love to bet college sports. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with Saturday's games, and we're going to pick who's going to win those games. Now, for Saturday games, we do not have spreads because the spreads for Saturday games will come out Saturday morning.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with the SEC games first. So for the SEC regular season finale, first off, we got Ole Miss at the Ole Miss Rebels at the Florida Gators. Florida trying to hunt down that last one seed.
I think Ole Miss is going to have a letdown because they beat Tennessee last night.
Yes.
So I think Florida is going to win on Senior Day. I think Florida's going to win. I say Florida.
Yeah, that's women's sports, I believe, or football. No, it's football. Oh, that's football. Next up, we got the LSU Tigers at home against the Texas A&M Aggies. LSU is nowhere to be found in the tournament conversation.
Aggies,
yeah. The South Carolina Gamecocks, who have reeled up a little bit of momentum at Tennessee to take on the Volunteers.
Volunteers,
yeah. This is an interesting one. 2 top 20 teams. The Kentucky Wildcats at Missouri.
It's at Missouri. Is
Yeah.
that Mizzou?
Yes.
Kentucky had a big win against LSU on Tuesday night. They beat them bad.
They did.
I'm going to go Missouri. Man, Missouri's playing good.
They are.
What is Missouri's conference record, Matt?
They are. I believe they're 9-8. I believe they're up there. They're sub 5. They're just above 500. Missouri is like 8-9 or 9-8 in the conference. Let's see.
10-7. Kentucky is.
Kentucky
So
is
Kentucky
9-8. They're trying to get that first bye in the SEC tournament.
I'm going to go I'm gonna go Kentucky in the upset.
I'm going to say Kentucky as well. I think it'll be close, but I think Kentucky can get it done.
I think Kentucky's gonna win it.
Next up, we got the top two teams in the SEC and two of the top teams in the land. The Alabama Crimson Tide at the Auburn Tigers. Auburn does not have John Brome, their top player. He hurt his shoulder against Texas A&M.
So, Josh Broom's out.
John Brome is out.
John Broom's out.
Yeah.
Alabama lost to Florida a couple nights ago.
Yes.
Senior day for Auburn.
Tough one.
Man, they've been the best team in the league all
Auburn's
year.
been so good up until last night or a couple nights ago.
I'm gonna go roll Tide.
I'm going to say Roll Tide as well. I think Alabama gets revenge, especially because Auburn beat Alabama on their floor. I think they get a measure of revenge.
Roll Tide.
Next up, we got Mississippi State at Arkansas. Arkansas is one of the last 4 byes in the tournament field.
Mississippi State and Arkansas.
Yeah. Arkansas has a bye right now. They're one of the last 4 teams to have a bye at this point. Arkansas has been on a roll.
Arkansas is gonna win. I say Arkansas.
I say Arkansas as well. Next up, we got the Vanderbilt Commodores at the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia also has one of the last 4 byes. Georgia's playing good right now, but Vanderbilt is too.
I think Georgia sucks.
You know what? I want Mings to chime in also in
Hey, you want
this.
to chime in on this?
I'm going go Bulldogs. Go Dogs.
I'm going to agree with you, Carl.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
I'm gonna
Go Georgia.
So my cousin Joseph actually goes to Vanderbilt University. I'm gonna say Vanderbilt just for him. Now the biggest game of the SEC schedule, the Red River rivalry, Texas versus Oklahoma. Both of these teams are in the first 4 out category. Oklahoma being the first team out, Texas in that same first 4 out category. Who wants it?
All right. I want to show some our our listeners could watch on see me on the.
You're guessing long.
See this? Nope. See this?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to the Sooners.
Sooners.
I'm going to Oklahoma as well. They
Boomer Sooner.
They got that big win over Missouri, and I think they're gonna
Boomer Sooner.
I'm going with Oklahoma.
What do you think, Ming? You going OU or Hook 'em Horns?
So hook 'em horns, everybody. Hook 'em
Hook 'em?
horns.
Okay. Now we got a couple games that are outside the SEC. We get the Ohio State Buckeyes,
Who cares?
who have one of the last 4 byes, versus the Indiana Hoosiers, who are one of the last 4 in.
You know
Whoever
what?
loses this game is in trouble.
Well, with Mike Woodson not coming back next year,
Yeah.
he's basically he's leaving anyway.
Yeah.
And they're gonna find a new coach. They want to leave his tenure making a tournament. I'm gonna go IU.
I'm going to say Ohio State. I think that Ohio State, they've put together some big wins. They got that big win on the road against Nebraska. I think that they really will. I think that they're going to do well in the Big Ten tournament. I think they'll make some noise there, and I think they get the bye.
I know who Ming's gonna pick.
I know Ming's going to pick Michigan.
He's gonna pick IU.
Yeah, come on, guys. Come on. Guys.
Anybody but that.
good, though.
Anybody
They're
but that
looking good.
team.
Anybody but Ohio State. They just won the national championship in football. Okay. Next up, we got a Big East game. This is actually
Paper champion. Paper champion.
next up, we got out of the Big East, we got the Providence Friars at Xavier. Xavier is the last team in.
I was shocked that Providence lost last night to DePaul.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
So Xavier's gonna run him off the court.
I think Xavier should win this game easily. And I think they'll only boost their status as one of the, they'll be in the last 4 in if they win this game, but I think that they'll be just outside of bye territory. That's how good that win's going to be. Next up, we got the Northeast Conference semifinals. If you know the Northeast Conference, you know that Wagner was the tournament champion last year. They won with only 7 healthy players. Well, Wagner unfortunately did not make the semifinals, but we still got FDU versus Central Connecticut, the 4 seed versus the 1 seed.
So we got Central Connecticut and Fairleigh Dickinson
Yes,
out of New Jersey.
correct. FDU.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Central Connecticut, for those of you who've been following the Northeast Conference, which is one of the worst conferences in basketball, Central Connecticut's like the lone bright spot. Like they're 25-6. They're incredible. I'm going to say Central Connecticut on this one. And then the other semifinal for the Northeast Conference, we got St. Francis versus LIU Brooklyn, Long Island University in Brooklyn.
So Long Island of Brooklyn.
Yes.
And St. Francis of Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Okay. They're playing at Brooklyn, LIU Brooklyn.
Yeah, they're playing LIU Brooklyn.
Under.
Honestly, but like in all seriousness, if you want to bet the NEC games, go under. These games are low-scoring games in the NEC.
So Long Island is the Blackhawks, correct?
Yes.
What's the St. Francis mascot?
Oh God, it beats me. Oh man.
Like a little rodent.
What's the records? Who's?
All right, so let me go. All right, so I know that St. Francis is the 3 seed. Let me
How you gamble, folks. You think about the mascot.
Wait, man, can you look up the St. Francis mascot? I'm sorry to cut.
I want to see the standings. See, I want to see the records here.
So St. Francis. So, yeah, go to the Northeast Conference. You'll see like what they are. What even is that? What is that?
It's a Friar.
Is that a Friar?
It's a Friar. Yeah, Friar Tuck.
Oh my God.
Friar Tuck.
Friar Tuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do you even allow this?
Well, it's the Friars. St. Francis Friars.
Oh my God.
I'm going with them.
All right, you're going with the Friars.
I'm going with the Friars.
Okay. All right, I'll go. All right, why not? We'll go with the Friars. All right, next up, we got, first off, we're going to go to the American East Tournament, which is also on Saturday. That starts. We got the 8th seed UMBC versus the number 1 seed Bryant.
Bryant's pretty good. I'm going with Bryant University.
I'm going with Bryant as well. I just can't see anyone beating them. Bryant, by the way, their mascot is the Bulldogs. Standard. And then the UMBC is the Retrievers. Next up, we got the 7th seed UNH versus the 2 seed, the Vermont Catamounts.
So you got New Hampshire and Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont actually came out of the American East last year.
I'll go with Vermont.
I'll say Vermont as well. Next up, we got UMass Lowell taking on the University of Maine.
Whoa.
I'm going with the Maine Bears over UMass Lowell.
I'm going with Maine as well. I think there's
the Maine Black Bears.
Next up, we got the Binghamton Bearcats versus the University of Albany. And the University of Albany, they're the Great Danes.
Go Danes.
Go Danes. All right. And now, to conclude, we're going to go to our spread picks for tonight. This is for the Atlantic Sun semifinals, the Horizon quarterfinals, and the Patriot League quarterfinals.
Who cares?
Well, we're picking based on spread, so that's why we care. So we're going to start off with the University of Jacksonville versus Northern Alabama. Northern Alabama, a 6.5-point favorite.
Give me the home team to cover. I don't know. Give me the home team to cover.
I'm going to say Northern Alabama doesn't cover. I say they win by 6. So they don't cover by half a point. Next up, we got Queens U versus Lipscomb. Lipscomb favored by 9.5 points.
Lipscomb. I never heard of Queens. Queens U. Where is it? Where are they out of?
Queens University?
Yeah. Where is that at?
I will not.
Mate, can you look up Queens University, please?
This is amazing.
They have a team?
Yeah, Queens University. I don't even know where they're located, but in Charlotte. In Charlotte.
Okay.
That's not Queens.
No, that's their mascot. Queens, North Carolina. That's their mascot.
I didn't even know they had one. Beats me.
Okay.
Thank you, Mig.
You learn something every day. Next up, we got the Horizon League. We got the quarterfinals. We got Wright State versus Robert Morris University. Robert Morris, a 6.5-point favorite.
I'll go Robert Morris.
I'll say Robert Morris as well. Next up, we got Northern Kentucky versus Cleveland State. Cleveland State, a 4.5-point favorite.
Cleveland State's the 1 seed, right?
2 seed.
2 seed?
Robert Morris is number 1.
I'll go Cleveland State. The Vikings.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the University of Oakland Golden Grizzlies, who represented the Horizon League last year.
Not this year.
They're taking on the University of Milwaukee. Milwaukee, a 6.5-point favorite.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
I'm going to say the Oakland Golden Grizzlies come out of this one. I'm going to say they upset. I think they win outright. Next up, we got Purdue Fort Wayne versus Youngstown State. Youngstown State, a 1.5 point favorite.
Youngstown State.
I'll say Purdue Fort Wayne just to be different.
Under.
Go with the under. All right, next up, we got the Patriot League quarterfinals. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Patriot League, the last 5 seasons where there was actually a tournament, the Colgate Raiders came out of the Patriot League as champions. They would go 1 and done to March Madness in each of the last 5 tournaments for March Madness. But number 1 seed this year is Bucknell, and they're taking on my cousin Joseph's school, the Loyola Maryland.
Greyhounds.
The Loyola Maryland Greyhounds, and Bucknell's an 8.5 point favorite.
I'm going with the Bison.
Okay. Joe Behringer, this is for you. I'm going with Loyola Maryland to pull off the upset. Next up, we got American University taking on the University of Lafayette. American University, a 4.5 point favorite.
Give me the Leopards.
I agree. Next up, we got Army versus Colgate. Colgate, at 8.5 point favorite.
Man, Colgate's good.
Colgate's good. I mean, they're a 3 seed, but they could be deadly.
5-time defending champ.
5-time defending champ.
They're going to try to make it 6. Give me
Yep.
Colgate.
I'm going with Colgate, and if I win and they win the tournament, I'll have Colgate toothpaste right in front of me. Next up, we got Navy versus Boston University. Boston University, a 2.5 point favorite.
Give me BU.
I'm taking BU as well. Okay, so that will do it for our spread picks for today. And like I said before, folks, we had a special guest in here. He loves betting college sports. Big D is in the house, just chilling out watching the Equinox for the first time. Thank you, Big D, for tuning in. Thank you, Mick, for pushing the buttons.
Oh, well, am I on?
Yeah, you're on now.
Oh, how you doing, everybody? This is a great show. You guys are doing a great job here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm really enjoying the show. Matter of fact, I'm really having a good time at this show today, and it's good that you guys are kind of gelling. It's been a lot of years you guys working together, and you guys came together well.
Hey, listen, we love doing Talking Baseball with Sal, but we figure there's so much outside of baseball to discuss that we figure we get our own little thing going, and that's what Carl and I decided to do.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going to ask you a question. You guys have to answer my question now.
Go.
Okay. So without the nonsense, who are the final 2 teams in the Final Four? Not Final Four. I know we're not going to do Final Four. Who are the 2 final teams in the NCAA championship?
You know what? I know one of them for sure is the Duke Blue Devils. The Duke Blue Devils have like 6 or 7 draft prospects for the NBA just this season. And John Shire has done a phenomenal job coaching this team.
So you're going Duke?
I'm saying Duke is one finalist, and then the other finalist, I'm going to go with a surprise one. I'm going to say the Drake Bulldogs of the Missouri Valley Conference.
You're going Drake.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. We're talking about the NCAA college championship.
I know.
You're going with the Drake Bulldogs.
Yes.
He's going with Drake Bulldogs.
Yes.
And Duke.
And
Yes.
Duke.
I would never go with those 2. What about
I'm
you,
going
Carl?
with Tennessee Volunteers. And I'm going to go Tennessee. And they were in there last year. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go Tennessee and Alabama.
Yeah, an SEC banner year, huh?
Yeah, because Tennessee's going to beat Duke in the East.
Woo.
If Tennessee's in the East, I'm still going to go with Tennessee, and hopefully they're not in the same bracket. I'm going to go Tennessee and roll to Alabama.
You know what? Just to make our guests happy, I wouldn't be surprised if St. John's makes the Final Four.
St. John's is good too, but I'm going. It could be tricky, but I'm going Tennessee and Alabama.
What do you think?
I'll tell you what, I was going to say St. John's just to throw it out there, just to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a chance of winning.
I mean, the one problem with them is they have a 69% free throw percentage as a team, which is not good. If you can't make your free throws in the NCAA tournament, that's a problem.
Yeah, if you can't make them during the regular season, then how are you going to make them during the big games, right? I like Clemson. I do.
Clemson's good.
Clemson's a good one.
Clemson's playing good.
I think they're a big team with a lot of good guys that can get around the rim. It's a hard team to beat defensively, I think. And I like Purdue as well.
Purdue's always
Purdue's good.
Purdue's always good.
Purdue's good.
I would never I would never throw Drake out there. If anybody picks Drake in the Final Four, I would be shocked at that. So,
Well, you're looking at someone who's going to.
Because I don't think Houston's going to. I don't think
Thanks,
Houston's. I think Houston's probably going to be in the South.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make it. They're going to fizzle out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the final bracket looks like. So, like I said, the bracket will come out on March 16th. Put that on your calendar. March 16th at 6 p.m. will be the CBS bracket reveal show on CBS. Once that comes out, you can fill out your bracket. And the bracket will usually be filled out by like 7 p.m. on the 16th. So it takes an hour for the brackets to be put into the system on the Tournament Challenge, whether it's CBS or ESPN or any other bracket app that you use. So keep that in mind. But, wow, it's already 8 o'clock. Carl, we did a good job today.
We did. Oh, I got one more nugget to throw out.
All right, go ahead.
You think South Carolina repeats, or are you taking the field for the
In
women's
basketball?
Yep, taking Southern. Are you taking South Carolina, or are you taking the field?
I'm taking the field. I actually go the USC Trojans.
Yeah, I don't see South Carolina going back to back. I wouldn't be surprised if it's either
I like USC.
USC or UCLA.
Oh, yeah, the two California teams.
But yeah, I could see. I don't see South Carolina winning the Final Four this year.
Yeah, I can't see it either. It's
No.
just like I feel like we're due for a change.
There's
in the
more
guard.
capacity. There's more capacity. There's more
More competition.
more competition, and and when UConn played them, they blew them out.
Yeah.
So I think UConn is going to be more, basically more stronger this year and more dangerous than they were last year.
Possible.
So yeah, I think they'll get bumped out.
Possible. And I know the UConn men aren't winning this year on the men's side.
I'm not giving up on them.
You're not giving up?
No, they won last night. They beat Marquette last night.
Okay.
So if they're getting hot at the right moment and they make their shots, and hey, Florida Atlantic as a 8 seed or 9 seed went to the Final Four a couple years ago.
That was a couple years ago.
Once you get on that run, man, and you get hot, anything can happen. NC State last year.
I mean, NC State. Well, that was an amazing.
Who
run
would have thought?
last year.
NC State.
That was an amazing run last year.
You
I'll
know?
give it that. All right, so it is 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Thank you so much for tuning into Equinox. So before we go, if you know someone who is the age of 60 or over, please treat your elders respectfully. Because why? Like SpongeBob SquarePants once said, "Old people are the greatest. They are full of wisdom and experience." Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.